What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. Alright guys, we're going to be doing a beginner's guide. That's right, now I'm at level 17 personally on Trailblazer, and I think I've gotten to this point and I've done a fairly good job getting here and taking advantage of everything the game has to offer to this point in time. So I want to help you guys kind of, if you're brand new or if you're not, just, don't have a lot of time and you're kind of stuck in certain places in terms of what to do. I want to show you guys what my suggestions are and how to take advantage of all of the things that are available to your account. So first thing I want to talk about, guys, real quick, is going to be the characters. All right, so in the beginning of the game, you're going to get a few characters for free, and you want to take advantage of these characters because they're going to be your main characters for quite some time until you pull your first 5-star or a couple of the better 4-star. So first one we're going to talk about is the main character, okay? So the MC. You can choose male or female, no difference, okay? But she will be, or he will be, your main damage dealer next to Dan Hong for quite some time, at least up to level 15, until you can do your departure warp, and we'll talk more about that. Great damage, good AoE, and great survivability. So definitely focus on your MC. Eventually, when she goes from destruction to perseverance, or he, whichever one you decide to choose, mostly you chose the girl, you'll get a pretty decent fire tank too. So not a slouch at all in any way, shape, or form, and it'll be a 5-star, and plus you can get the Eidolons through certain currencies. Okay, we'll talk more about that as well too. Next up, you're going to have March 7, who's going to be your support unit and your freeze CC unit. So CC is crowd control. Freeze is an amazing thing to have in this game, especially for early on, because when you freeze an opponent and they break free, they don't get an extra turn. Unlike when you break an opponent's break bar, they'll snap out of it and they actually get a turn. With freeze, that doesn't happen. You actually get a full turn to yourself again, and they lose an entire turn. Not to mention, her shield is actually impeccable, keeping people alive, and almost essential until you bolt Natasha, who is your only healer at 4-star at the time anyways, or unless you get lucky and you pull Bailu. So Mark 7, absolute a must, essentially, for getting them up. Now, don't be afraid, guys, to get these units up to level 20, because Ascension won't occur until you hit level 15 anyways, so you have to get a couple units to 20 to do the harder bosses and the harder formidable foes in this game. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Dan Hong. Now, this is going to be your only wind DPS unit for quite some time as well, so another one you want to focus on. Great single target DPS, and a lot of units or a lot of enemies in the beginning will be wind element weakness. So it's almost a must to have them up in the beginning, at least to level 15, until you perhaps pull Bronya, or you get lucky on something like that, and then you can kind of switch around, obviously, and pick your 5-stars. From there, you can choose what you get in terms of other 4-star units. You can pick yourself Asta, who's also given for free as a fire unit. Don't highly recommend going with her, but if you get a chance to get Serval as well, that's the unit I would go for. Now, there's not a lot of lightning element weakness enemies in the beginning, but she does have a great AoE and can peg off like multiple units at a time, and overall is a badass. So that's the 4 units I would focus on first. Hook is a decent one too if you do get her as a 4-star when you're with your first pulls, but again, not one I would recommend leveling up right away. Go ahead and level up, I'd say, 4 units that you really like, the 3 specific ones that I mentioned, and the 4th is your choice, and then focus on your departure warps. Now let's talk about that real quick. As a free-to-play, you're going to get yourself some currencies. First thing I want to say is these currencies here, the Star Rail special passes, are going to be the ones you want to spend your actual Stellar Jades on. Do not spend Stellar Jades on anything else but these, okay? If you do, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your resources, especially as free to play. So this here is going to be specifically for the Sealay banner, and coming up is Jing Yuan. So if you're looking for an AoE damage dealer, wait for him. If you're looking for a single target burst quantum damage dealer, go for her. It does not hurt to do it. Now, I pulled twice and I got lucky to get a 5-star unit, but it wasn't her, so I'm at the 50-50 draw. I got myself a Himiko instead, okay? What you actually want to spend your banner on, guys, and you're going to have regular resources for it, is going to be these resources here, but you don't want to do the regular warp. In the beginning, when you start the game, you're going to have something called a departure warp, which is going to give you a discount, I believe, of 20%, which means you need to do 50 pulls, which you only have to do for 40 tickets. Okay, so 50 pulls for 40 tickets, and you're guaranteed your first 5-star unit. Now, the unit you ideally want to get is Bronya. That's who I got luckily, and I also pulled a Ting Yun. So Ting Yun is going to be your best 4-star support unit, and Bronya is going to be your best 5-star support unit. So with the 2 of them on the same team, you're going to be pretty unstoppable for some time. All right, so that's what you want to do with your Stellar Jades, is you want to focus on only saving them for these specific Star Rail special passes. Never, ever, ever spend them on these Star Rail regular passes, because these will come throughout the game and you'll get them pretty often. All right, so that's the main thing about currencies. Secondly, if you do have Sele and you decide you want to go for the Brilliant Fixation with for her 5-star light cone, go for it. Just keep in mind, for free to play, you're very limited on your resources, and it's a really low probability to get this. And light cones do play a massive role in this game. So let's talk a little bit about what those are and why they matter. Okay. So moving on to light cones. So these here are going to essentially be your accessories or your gear. Well, not your gear, your accessories, I should say. Sorry. And each accessory is tied to a specific path. So preservation, harmony, destruction, hunt, etc. Right? And as you get these, you're going to want to look at the stats, right over here, and then look at the superimpositions, which is going to tell you essentially what the buffs are. So in this case, for example, it increases the wearer's defense by 16%. If the wearer's current HP is lower than 50%, increases their defense by 16% additionally, right? So for example, if I go here and I want to choose a light cone for the MC, I want to pick destruction because she is a destruction character. But if you don't have that and you start looking around for another one, you can see here the character is a hunt position. Now you could still switch to it, but the stats will only apply, but the special trait will not. So it's very important, guys, to make sure you look at the path and tie it in to the path of the character. So light cones do matter a lot. Now, for the first little while, you're going to get 3-star light cones. Are they worth leveling up? Sure, absolutely they are. You can rank them up fairly easily as well, but don't dump too much resources into them, because you can see eventually as you progress, you will get yourself some 4 stars, which are going to be much better and more probable for drops through like the warps and just through the storyline and doing just subquests. All right, so don't dump too much resources into 3 stars, but in the beginning, to help you out to beat some formidable foes and get some better treasure chests and stellar jades, it's not a bad idea. All right, moving on to traces now. Real quick on characters. These traces are going to matter, okay? Traces are essentially going to be your stats and your passives and your extra boost on your skill tree. These are going to be things you're going to need to do through getting materials in the game. Now you can synthesize materials, which I'm going to talk about very soon, or you can collect them through just the storyline, treasure chests, and side quests, okay? And also you can get them through some of the Calyx. So here you're going to see they are capped behind ascension. So in order to advance in some of them, you do have to ascend your characters. So at one point, you're going to have only one you can do, but eventually as you ascend, you're going to unlock more skill trees. And then as you go further up, you're going to see there's going to be other requirements such as levels and not just ascension. So definitely focus on this. But I will say this quick right now, do not spread your resources thin, especially as free to play, because they are not going to be fully abundant in the beginning of the game. You want to focus on your main 4, ideally, okay? And by ideally, I mean wait till you get your departure summon out of the way and see what 5-star you get. And if you want to put all your efforts into a new 4 or 5-star that you pull, and then start going through all of these skill trees, okay? So don't do it in the beginning. And Eidolons here, guys, are going to be your dupe system. Essentially, for the MC, you can buy them and collect them through Trailblazer points, and you can buy them in certain other places and through achievements. So this one's going to be something you'll just get over time. For characters, though, you have to pull them through the warp system. So as you get more, you'll unlock these specific ones. You can see the first one here does every time Mark 7 ultimate freezes a target, she regenerates 6 energy. This one here, upon entering battle, grants a shield equal to 24% of Mark 7's defense to the ally with the lowest HP, lasts 3 turns, so an auto shield right away. This one here is ultimate +2, maximum of 15, so it gives you a little bit more skill bonus on your ultimate. And then as it goes, they all progress, right? As you go through this, you're going to find it's going to be much tougher, obviously, to unlock these for 5-star characters. So for the first little while, guys, as a brand new player, your 4 stars may be your go-tos based on how many dupes you get. All right, so make sure you note that. Now, I'm going to say this right away about characters. You do want to pull Natasha. Natasha is going to be, like Mark 7 shield is great, but Natasha is going to be someone you're going to want because she's the only 4-star healer, and she's going to be essential in progression for you. So I have her here. I just got her through the Sele summons. I'm going to be getting her up. She's going to replace Mark 7. Again, she is a physical unit. So keep that in mind. You will lose an element because the MC is also physical. So you can replace the MC if you have a good DPS and you want to keep that freeze element in play. But Natasha is going to be your only actual healer for quite some time. So definitely worthwhile going for. All right, next thing I want to talk about are your actual treasure chests. Now, I'm going to quickly switch over here and switch gears to a little website that I have. Okay, so this website here is, I'll link it in the description, actually shows you all the collections you can get, all the space anchors, the stores, the basic treasures, the actual storybooks you can get. These are all very important things, guys. So I'm going to link this for you guys. Definitely grab as many treasure chests as you can. Basic treasures, you have the books here, and you'll get yourself achievements. And as you get these achievements, they're going to give you stellar jade. So definitely something you want to take time is exploring the actual outworld. Don't just spend time playing the game because you're looking to rush. If you rush, you're not going to do quite as well. But I would suggest go through the minimap, get as many of those items as you can, and then move on from there. All right, next up, enemies. So when you see an enemy, you're going to see a couple different kinds. You're going to see regular enemies, you're going to see formidable enemies. So regular enemies, you can see right on top, it says level 8 antimatter. When you look at an enemy, it's going to show you the elemental weakness that you can start with. If you use the skill technique right over here, where the number 1E is, that's going to have 3 charges, okay? You can get additional charges by breaking these containers here, right here. And you can see here it filled up 2 more. So these will eventually disappear. This has a better effect. So for example, for Mark 7, it'll do a freeze instantly. While here, if you use the regular attack, it'll still give you the weakness bonus, but it just does freeze damage on 1 enemy. So let me show you guys real quick how this works, okay? So there's an enemy right there. Now you see there's 2 side by side. If you attack an enemy when there's 2 side by side, you see one got frozen right there and one got hit. That's the difference between doing a technique versus a basic attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do auto. Now, you saw there was 2 enemies side by sides. When you do that, keep in mind, guys, you will have 2 battles, okay? Not just 1. You'll have battle 1 of 2. So if you're low on HP, do not engage unless you're confident enough that you can beat both teams with the character's HP that you currently have. All right? Next up, I'm going to stop right here real quick and slow it down. You can see enemies do debuffs. You can check them on your characters. Now, if you're looking to see what the debuff is, okay, you can actually go ahead and click on the character. Let's go here. And you can see what's going on them. Like, she has nothing going on here on her, but if you look at Bronya, you can see that there's a lock-on. Targeted by Void Range Distorted receives 10% more damage, okay? So, and you can see her buffs. The Bellabog March, right? Attack 35% and crit damage 19%. So this is very important, guys, to stop for a second and take a look here at this little area to see what buffs you have and what they do, what the debuffs are. So in this case, because I do have somebody attacking me, right, in terms of a lock-on, you actually want to turn around and give her a shield. That way, when everybody attacks her with lock-on, that shield will protect all the damage coming in right there. And then you can do all your counters. All right, now keep in mind down here, there is also technique points. Do not just use every technique because you have it up. You actually do need to build these points. These skill points are going to matter a lot. So you can see here, I have 0, so I can't do blast, which is what I want to use here to do a one-time AoE to knock out most of these enemies. But because I don't have the points, I'm now forced to use just regular attack. So let's do this again. We're going to go ahead and support. See, it took away my points. I'm back to 0, and this is the crux you want to avoid. You don't want to keep making that same mistake. Let your skill points build over time while the fight happens. All right, so another thing. Should you use your ultimates as soon as they're up? It does not hurt to do so. You will build them very quickly, okay? Another thing, elemental bars for enemies will only deplete if you use the proper element, the weakness element to them. They will only take a little bit of HP away and not the bar itself. You always want to break an enemy because you'll do more damage when they break out of it. Or while they're in it, you'll do more damage, and when they break out of it, they take additional damage from that element. Okay, another quick little tip. You want to actually destroy every object you can in the game. Now, number 1, you get yourself little credits and medals as you saw there. Number 2, you're going to get yourself an achievement for breaking as many of those as you can. Also, anytime you see these little areas, go ahead and touch the space anchor. It allows you to change units, lets you change in fast travel, lets you recover all, and there's a certain amount of healing effects it has per time, so be careful how you do that, okay? All right, now, let's talk about something else real quick here. Let's talk about simulated universe. Okay, so simulated universe is something you want to tackle early on. The reason why is the rewards are great, and you're going to get quite a bit of experience fighting enemies. Now, once you do simulated universe, it's going to actually put you into a couple floors. It's almost like a tower. You'll beat enemies, you'll beat bosses, you collect treasures, and then when you complete, you actually get yourself quite a bit of rewards, and it's based on a blessing system. Now, the blessings themselves will have different effects based on which ones you choose, and each one will give you an appropriate buff or a debuff to the enemy based on what the description is. Now, as you collect more of these, you're going to actually unlock yourself more stellar jades, all right? So you can see here I have 5 unlocked. I need to unlock 12 for the next one. So it's very important, guys, that you pick and choose different ones each time to unlock them so you can get yourself additional stellar jades through the simulated universe. As you beat it, you're also going to unlock different things in the Elite world right here. As you can see, different currencies and materials, and you'll get yourself some Aeon lore, which you can learn about how they affect the world and Honkai impact in general, okay? And as you complete these, the worlds will open up, and I'm going to go into it right here. And you'll see additional worlds are going to be available, and you'll get yourself a score. These scores are important, guys, as they will unlock additional material and stellar jades and other items for you. So definitely get in here and work on some of these simulated universes. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the other portion, and that's going to be the catalysts. Okay, so real quick, right over here. Right here, Calyx, sorry, not I said Calyx. Calyx. So these are going to be your currencies for quite some time, which is going to be the Trailblazer power, okay? So you can use fuel to replenish it, or you can use Stellar Jades. You want to save these for end game. For the first little while, though, to hit level 15, you want to do as many of these as possible in order to get yourself some of these logbooks in order to level up, or some of these Lycone XP. So I'm going to do this one, for example, and show you guys how it works. Now, when you jump in here, it'll automatically teleport you to one of these tree-looking items that are gold. These are the enemies here. Keep in mind, you can do one challenge, which is just one wave, or you can go completely up to 6 and use 60 of these. These will replenish over time. You don't want to have these capped all night long. Use them while you can and get the free XP. So let me show you guys. As you can see here, level 2 is Equilibrium 1. This is your world level, essentially. And as you unlock that, you get better items and better challenges. But the actual Trailblazer EXP does not change, so it doesn't hurt to do 6. I'm going to go ahead and do 6 and show you guys how it works. So this is the team I'm using here. I'm going to replace March 7 with Natasha once I get her up, but for now we're going to focus on this. And we're going to go through these waves and show you guys what it's all about. So as you complete these, it's going to essentially give you a wave of 6 mobs. I did 6 of them, or you can go lower than that. And you will deplete 60 of these, and you can come back in here again. As you unlock more of these, there'll be different kind of enemies and different kind of people you can fight. Sorry, mobs you can fight, and different kind of drops. So right now I only have unlocked 2 of them in the story. I'm in the Havero story part, where I'm in the mines. I think this has been one of the best sources of material and EXP for me for my Trailblazer. So definitely do this. Once this is done, we're going to talk about the assignments, dailies, and how you should tackle those. Let's just finish this up real quick. It's almost done here. And as you can see here, there's all the damage coming through from the MC. If you put auto battle, guys, keep in mind, auto battle will not be the best decision making for you. It'll usually choose the strongest unit that has the best DPS, and it'll get them the most buffs. But for example, if you want to use Bronya as your main DPS, auto might not be the way to go. You might have to manual that. The MC usually gets all the buffs from me because she's got the highest DPS right now. And unless there's a certain element, right? Like for example, Win right now, so Ting Yun actually leveled or buffed up Bronya instead. So there you go, let's see. There you go. So the top 4-star buffing unit is Ting Yun. That's who you'd want ideally as your first 4-star pull. And Bronya is your best 5-star unit. So there you go. You can see here I depleted 60. These are the materials I got. I'm going to go ahead and exit. And now what you can do, guys, just another little trick here, is you can go back. There should always be a space anchor nearby where you can heal yourself. All right, so take that heal. There you go. And then move on. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the different various things you can do in the game. So anything that's a gold icon from a quest is your main quest, storyline quest. Anything that's a green one is your daily mission. Anything that's blue is a side mission. Always do your side missions and your daily missions, okay, guys? The reason why is when you go to your tasks, let's go right here. Sorry, right here. When you go to your tasks here, guys, you're going to have yourself daily training right here, right? Which you can collect rewards all day long until you hit the 500 mark, and you do all of these requirements, or not all of them, ones that require you to get up to 500. As you can see here, I now have an option of completing the 1 daily, synthesize an item, or take a photo. Very easy things to do. For those who know how to take a photo, you simply go down here, and there's a photo option right there, and you can go ahead and take any photo you want. Okay, and then you can exit, and then if you go back into the actual assignments, you should see you've completed all 500. Okay, and there you go. You get yourself your Stellar Jade, Trailblazer EXP, and Lost Gold Fragments. So very easy to do, guys. And these are your weekly points. So make sure, again, the Simulated Universe you do, and this here you do as well. So those are very important things that you want to focus on. Also, Operation briefings. These are going to be your actual missions as you progress through story. Something else you want to focus on as well too to get EXP, easy item and gear. Very simple thing to do. Just follow the steps. If you click go, it'll tell you exactly where you need to go and how to get it done. So don't worry about rushing through this, but something you definitely want to progress through as well too. Okay. And then lastly, assignments, guys. Assignments are here as like your expeditions almost. Make sure you don't skip out on these. These are going to be easy ones. You have a limit of 2 of 2. You can see here I've already sent 2 off. I always do the 20 hours, but some people will do like the 12 because they don't have that much time. They want to log into the game. I don't have that much time to log in, so I do the full 20. And you get yourself things like EXP for characters, Lycone EXP credits, for, which is money, character materials, and lastly, other materials for characters here, okay? So very easy thing to do. Always do it. The last thing I want to talk about is synthesis. Synthesis is something that's going to be very important in the game. You can get yourself items that'll help you through fights, so one-time use effect items, but more importantly, you want to synthesize items here, which are going to be your material for ascension and your traces, okay? So if you have an abundance of a certain material and you're lacking one other one, you can go ahead and create additional material by using these things and using excess ones that you have. So for example, I need more of these artifacts modules. I can go ahead and click 6 of them. I'll use 12 of these right here, and I'll create 6 more of those, okay? So if you go confirm, there you go. You get yourself 6 more. So do this route instead. Do not use the store. If you go to the store, you're going to see here, you can purchase them, right? Where is it? Sorry, one sec here. You can purchase material using this currency. You don't want to do that. You want to save that specifically for these Star Rail passes, and more importantly, the passes that you get, which is the special Star Rail ones, not the basic ones, but the special ones. Okay, so save these currencies for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and buy 5 of these anyways for now. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna save them for the special ones only. And then Starlight Exchange, same scenario here, guys. Only save it for the Star Rail special passes. Don't use them for anything else. And then lastly, it's up to you how you want to spend. I have not bought anything in this game, and so far it's been great, but that would be my recommendation. Now, Nameless Honor is something else that it's up to you if you want to buy. It's a battle pass, essentially. I haven't purchased it, but I would go in here and navigate and complete all of these every single day, and then move on from there and collect all the rewards that happen here. This is actually a pretty good deal if you plan to spend, so don't be shocked if a lot of people as free-to-play decide to buy this and they're not free-to-play anymore, because it's actually a pretty good system. All right, guys, so that's essentially it for me. You can also add in right over here, put in a support character so people can use it. This will be your starting Starfaring companion so people can see, and then you can update this as much as you want here and add in additional things. But I believe that's it for a player's guide. So again, top units you want to focus on in the beginning is Dan Heng, MC, Mark 7, and if you get Ting Yun, get her right away. Natasha right away, absolutely get those up. Serval is a great AoE unit, and your first 5-star you ideally would want is either going to be Bronya, Welt, which is another really good unit. Those two are probably going to be the best 5-star unit. And if you're going for Sele, remember, it does require you to use these special passes, and always use Stellar Jades for those passes only. All right, guys, this is Payne. If I miss anything, let me know in the comment section, but I think this is pretty complete for now. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.